Hello and welcome everybody. We are so excited to have you here during Holland America Line week for the Holland America Line training with Aaron today. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. Well, just before we get started, I just want to let you guys know this video will be available in the trainings section of your Travel Cafe website. Go to suppliers, go to Holland America Line, and you will be able to find the recording right there. And also, if you have any questions, we will do Q&A at the end. So feel free to put your questions in chat. I will save those in a queue and we will ask them at the end. So without further ado, Aaron, we're so excited that you're with us and what you have to share. So we'll let you get started.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. So I'm going to kick it off with a great video that's just going to introduce you to Holland America. So enjoy. Now, I love that video, and hopefully you noticed a couple things. Hopefully you noticed the lively music. Holland America definitely has that legacy of being for, let's be honest, for geriatrics, right? Oxygen tanks and walkers kind of as far as the eye can see. And that really couldn't be any further from the truth. Holland America really is that premium cruise line that focuses on the 5 pillars that we have here in front of you. So we're that cruise line for explorers, people that are really passionate about unique destinations and really wanting to immerse themselves as much as possible into the destination that we're cruising to. It's also the cruise line known for foodies. Easily some of the best food at sea, whether it's grab and go by the pool or the Lido deck for the buffet or our specialty dining. Really, it's exceptional food across the board. And the thing that I love most, and the reason I've been cruising in Holland America for years, is the love of music. So for any music lovers out there that love live music, Holland America absolutely is the cruise line for you. And I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into what we can offer there that makes Holland America really unique. And of course, the amazing service, award-winning service, I should say, at sea. And of course, our spacious ships. So if you've been lucky enough to sail on Holland America, you'll know what I'm talking about. We're considered that kind of small to medium size cruise line. So our classic nod to cruising will be experienced on all of our ships, whether it's the Pinnacle class, just roughly over 2,600 passengers, or our R class, which is just roughly over 1,400 passengers. They all have that classic nod to classic cruising. So very contemporary, very nautical in its theme. And you're not going to find a lot of the kind of bells and whistles like the ice skating or the water slides that you might find on other ships, but you're definitely going to see that classic cruise experience on board. And it really is important that when our guests are sailing with us, that it does feel like a second home. We want the guests to come on board, unpack once, take advantage of the amazing amount of storage on board, and just sit back and relax in the comfortable staterooms. So whether it's inside, ocean view, veranda, or some of our elegant suites, again, it's just going to give you that classic feel of cruising with lots of extra space on board. And of course, for our signature suite guests, they're going to have that amazing seating area, the soafing bed, and our Neptune and Pinnacle suite guests are going to have all kinds of amazing perks, ranging from maybe fresh flowers to premium bathrobes, priority boarding, personal concierge, really just that elevated experience. Now, while they're sailing with us, of course, we want them to take advantage of all the amazing onboard experiences, the onboard experts, which is something that I really love. And the best example of that is when we're in Alaska. So when you're sailing to the amazing Glacier Bay, we're going to have park rangers come on board. They're going to offer kind of a TED Talk style presentation around Glacier Bay from a parks perspective. And then once they wrap up, we actually have Indigenous leaders come on board and then give you the perspective of that region from the indigenous perspective. So really just rounding out that whole experience. Again, that really immersive experience for you, which I think is really cool. And of course, all of the fun activities, I already alluded to this, but the live music, the BB King Lounge for your live jazz and blues, the Rolling Stone Lounge for your classic and contemporary rock and roll, Billboard on Board, where you're going to find the dueling pianos and contemporary music, and brand new for us, Third Avenue West, which really focuses on string instruments and performances, really is the heart of the Holland America experience. That live music, it's a total vibe. You're going to find me in the BB King Lounge with a Manhattan every night, really just taking all that live music in. It is so much fun. But of course, we offer everything else. So the lectures, that kind of TED Talk style performance I talked about, and of course, pickleball. So for any of you on there that are avid pickleball players, you'd be happy to know that the number one or the fastest growing sport in North America is pickleball. You probably already know that. And we have not one, but two courts available on our ships. We have partnered with the American Pickleball Association. So one court is regulation and dedicated to pickleball. The other one is a flex court. So this is perfect for your pickleball groups. I would encourage you to tap any of those local clubs, take advantage of that. There's a huge opportunity there. Now, I'm going to put out a little question here. I know we're virtual, so you don't need to answer, but any idea what the number one activity is on any cruise line? Absolutely. You should say eating, dining.
Eating, yeah, eating.
It is by far the number one activity for sure. And Holland America really does go beyond the plate. So we offer our native fresh fish. We offer local ingredients sourced directly from those that know it best. Our onboard destination dining really is going to tell a story of the region that we're cruising through in really unique flavors. So whether it's Northern Sea Cod, whether it's Sydney Rock Oysters, you're really going to have that authentic taste throughout the entire experience, which is something really exciting. Now, we've just partnered with Chef Morimoto from Top Chef, and he is our fresh fish ambassador. So we have rolled out fleet-wide something that we've been doing in Alaska for a long time. We're offering fresh, locally sourced, ethically sourced, seasonal seafood on all of our sailings. We've committed to 48 hours from hook to plate for all of our seafood. And Chef Morimoto, like I said, is our fresh fish ambassador. So let's take a listen to Chef Morimoto and this amazing relationship.
At Holland America Line, our cuisine goes beyond the plate. That's why we're introducing our new, first of its kind, global fresh fish program, offering you more than 80 varieties of fresh fish sourced locally from across our global network. Because we care about what's on your plate, who we partner with is important.
The fresh fish program is very 画期的. I'm Chef Morimoto, fresh fish ambassador for Holland America Line. Decided we working with Holland America because we have same standard as the flavored ingredients, especially fish. I will bring my innovative flair to a pop-up restaurant on all ship on Holland America. Let us prepare something for you.
This is a fabulous restaurant. If you're sailing on Holland America, I encourage you to add that to your list. If you're sending your guests on and you know they're seafood lovers, of course, you're going to want to remind them to check out Chef Morimoto and the Morimoto pop-up. Now, I do want to remind you of a couple of other things just to keep in mind when you're talking to your guest. This is our have it all, or our drinks package, as it might be referred to. $60 per person per day. The number 1 and 2 guests in the cabin will have to have it. And this is by far one of the least expensive drink packages out there. It includes your drink package, your Wi-Fi, shore excursion credit, and dining credit. The early booking version of that is going to give you upgraded drinks, upgraded Wi-Fi, crew appreciation, and lowest price guarantee. At the early booking version, really no one else can touch us. This is absolutely something you're going to want to verify if it's available to your client, and you want to be offering this at the time of booking. What we find is if they haven't added it with their travel advisor, they're adding it when they get on board. And we do really want to make this as seamless as possible for them. So look to have that conversation early. And it really is exceptional value, even if they're not heavy drinkers. There is all kinds of benefits for that. So you definitely want to explore that. The early booking version, normally how it runs it'll run until the end of September, let's say of 2025, for bookings into 26 and 27. Now, that being said, it might be pulled back if the Have It All is really selling out on a particular voyage. So always check your booking system or our res team to make sure that's available. And if it is, you definitely want to have that conversation with your clients. Other things that we do that are super unique on board, the Royal Dutch Tea. This is an amazing high tea program that's going to take on each of our voyages. On a sea day, they're going to be able to take part, which is a lot of fun. The mint service, this is the after dinner mint and ginger service that just elevates that guest experience as they're exiting main dining and really just invokes that timeless elegance of ocean travel. Dutch Day, this takes place every April 27th. And just celebrating our Dutch heritage. And our Orange Party, this is so much fun. This is, again, honoring the royal family of the Netherlands. We encourage guests to get dressed up in orange, as fun as they want. And we do a little bit of a pub crawl throughout the ship, and it is so much fun. I encourage you, again, remind your clients to pack some orange. You might be surprised when you open up your closet tonight and take a look. You don't probably have a lot of orange already in there. So encourage them, maybe make a trip to the store, get some fun orange clothes and wear that on the Orange Party. That's going to take place at least once on every cruise. Something else I want to remind you of is our Club Orange. This is similar to Have It All. It's an add-on that you can add, $25 per person per day or $15 depending on the length of the voyage. What happens here is this gives your clients all of the suite amenities that they would expect when booking into a suite. Priority access, premium dining, added amenities, special events, possible 2 cabin category upgrade if available. Now, I do want to put a caveat on this. It is limited capacity, roughly 30 to 40 spots per sailing. And that's because we want to preserve the integrity of the Club Orange program for our paying suite guests. So if you have clients that would be interested in this level of service and quality, or that you're talking to moving up into a suite, but they're not quite ready to do it, this is a great option. Call into our res desk, talk to them, see if it's available, and then of course you can add that onto your booking, and it is fully commissionable. Now, I can't, of course, talk about Holland America without talking about Alaska. We are by far the #1 cruise line in Alaska. I know some other cruise lines like to take that from us, but I'm confident in saying we're the #1 experience in Alaska. I've been on well over 100 cruises in my lifetime, and I can say that the Alaska cruise is by far my favorite one. It is so vibrant, so much fun, and it's the cruise that as soon as I'm done, I would book it again and go back. And the reason that Holland America does it so differently is because we have so much to offer. We can offer you your traditional cruise, anywhere from 7 to 28 days, or the cruise tour, which is the 9 to 18 days. And think about this as a combination of a cruise with let's say a Trafalgar coach tour and a Rocky Mountaineer train tour kind of all combined into one. That's really what it is. It's that combination of cruise and land. So when you're selling Alaska, what I would encourage you to do is ask your clients a couple of questions. Okay. Why do you want to go to Alaska? When can you go? How do you want to feel at the end of this cruise? And most importantly, how much time do you have? If they only have a week, it's a cruise. But if they have more than 2 weeks, I highly recommend that it's a cruise tour, because this is just going to make that experience so much more magical for them and really get them past the ports of call into the heart of Alaska, which is really so mesmerizing and so captivating. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about the cruise portion because I think it's fairly straightforward. I'm going to spend some time talking about the cruise tour. And then, of course, you can reach out to your local BDM for more questions. Holland America really does Alaska differently than everyone else. We've been cruising to Alaska before it was even a state. That's how long we've been there. So we know Alaska, it's in our blood, and we really can elevate that experience for your clients. Now, we've got lots of options for you. Northbound, southbound, outside passage, inside passage, round trip from Seattle, one way, round trip from Vancouver. So many options available when it comes to the cruise. But like I said, I really want to spend some time talking about the cruise tour because this is really that experience that's going to get you to the heart of Alaska. We're going to take care of everything for you. The luxury rail, the complimentary tours. We're going to get your guests into Yukon, which is part of the most beautiful part of Canada. The UNESCO World Heritage Site, the amazing Big Five when you get up there. We're really going to take care of all of it for you. Your guests are going to stay in the beautiful Denali Lodge, which is at the gateway of Denali National Park. And this is a property that's owned and operated by Holland America. So it's going to feel like a bit of an extension of the cruise ship. And this is really a place that's so amazing. They're going to stay in the Denali Suites. They're going to have access to Denali Square, which is really the heart of this lodge. Imagine sitting in Adirondack chairs with a fire pit, hot chocolate, maybe a glass of wine, s'mores, live music, local artisans, people chatting about the amazing experience. It is such a vibe. It is so much fun and really the heart of that whole lodge. Now they're going to get there, of course, on the McKinley Explorer, which is again owned and operated by Holland America, luxury rail. Imagine that glass dome top, open carriage areas where they can actually step outside. There's bars, restaurants, shopping, Wi-Fi, washrooms, everything you're going to need for that luxury rail experience from Anchorage into Denali National Park. It is so much fun and definitely will be a highlight. Now, included in any 2 or 3 night stays in Denali Lodge is access into Denali National Park. This is the only time on the tour where they're not going to be with a Holland America tour director. This is where they're going to be with a park ranger taking them into the heart of the park. Hopefully they're going to see the Big Five, Mount Denali if the weather agrees with them. And this is included. This is an absolute fabulous experience, will be a highlight for your guests. The other thing that's a highlight is getting your clients into Dawson City, Yukon. This is a territory in northern Canada, up attached to Alaska. It is spectacular and will be a highlight for sure. It's where the gold rush started. It's steeped in Canadian history. It's got the oldest casino in North America at a bar called Gertie's. It is vibrant and quirky and fun, and absolutely, like I said, it'll be a highlight for your guests. Now, the itinerary that I always recommend, again, I asked how long you've got. 18 days, Denali, Yukon. This is really the best of the best. Round trip from Vancouver. You've got that amazing cruise. We're going to take you into the interior. We've got everything covered for you. 3 nights in the Yukon, 3 nights in Denali, your planes, trains, buses, accommodations, all of it taken care of for you. When selling the cruise tours, a couple of things you want to keep in mind. Anything with just a D in the code is Denali only. Anything with a Y is going to be Denali and Yukon. Absolutely encourage you to think about Denali and Yukon as being the preferred choice. The other thing to keep in mind, I said everything's included. However, the only things that are not included is your food, your drinks, and gratuities. All of that is at an additional charge. We do have meal plans available, everything from breakfast only to fully inclusive. Again, you just need to determine which makes sense for your client. Now, something else that we get asked all the time is, when should I go to Alaska? This is a really great shot here. I would take a screenshot of this and post this on your social media to entice people to go to Alaska. It does really matter when they choose to go. My personal opinion, May and August, September are my favorite months to go. I think the weather's the most agreeable. Things are starting to move around. Wildlife can be a lot of fun, but really this season is May to October. So something to think about. Now, I know we're just wrapping up winter here. I'm up in Canada. We've had -40 weather here for quite a while. So that's enough talking about cold destinations. Let's talk about the Caribbean. Warmth, of course. We've got some really amazing offerings that we can do in the Caribbean. Those flexible itineraries, access to the private island, of course, which is Half Moon Cay. We also can offer free spots for third and fourth passengers on board. So for family members, multi-generational families, maybe wanting to go to Alaska or the Caribbean, great option here. We do cover all the usual suspects when it comes to the Caribbean. One thing that we do that I think is really special is all of our Caribbean itineraries will include at least one stop at Half Moon Cay. And Half Moon Cay is that private island that we share with Carnival. It's that oasis in the Bahamas. It's the largest private island down there, and it really is underdeveloped in a lot of ways. So your guests are going to feel like they're in that just uncharted oasis in the Bahamas. It really is something special. Now, a couple of itineraries that I love to celebrate here, these are my favorites. The 9-day Southern Caribbean, ABC Islands. Round trip out of Fort Lauderdale. You're hitting Bonaire, Curacao, Aruba with late departures from 2 of the ports. Really such a fabulous itinerary. This is a really great option for first-time cruisers because it's a good balance of port days and sea days. Another great one for people that want to get away for the Christmas break. Round trip again out of Fort Lauderdale. Some stunning destinations here. Grenada and Trinidad being 2 of my absolute favorites down there. But why not go away for the Christmas break, let someone else cook and clean for you, and really just sit back and relax for the holidays. This would be a great one again to get out on your social media once people start thinking about their Christmas holidays. Now let's keep going across the pond here to Europe. Of course, Holland America, very strong presence in Europe in 25 and 26 and into 27 already. For any of my maybe new to cruise or new to travel, something to keep in mind when you're looking at Holland America in Europe are those long port stays. Often where the cruise terminal's docked is nowhere near the destination that guests went there to really see. So you want to make sure that you're choosing those itineraries and the cruise lines that give you those long port stays so that your guests can really dive deep into those amazing European destinations that they went there to see. We do even offer some overnight stays in some of the most popular destinations like Stockholm, Venice, and Rhodes, which again, just is going to take that whole experience to the next level. Now, we can offer you lots of options from Northern Europe, the Med, transatlantic. My suggestions here when you're maybe giving some tips to your clients, Northern Europe, June, July, August, fabulous weather, less crowded because everyone's in the Mediterranean. The Mediterranean, May, June, September, October can be fabulous to go there because again, less crowds, cooler weather for sure. I don't know if you've been to Rome in August, but it is hot. So thinking about those shoulder months in the Med can really be a great option. One of my favorite itineraries to suggest here, this is part of our legendary voyages, round trip out of Rotterdam. You're doing the UK, the fjords, Greenland, Iceland. You're actually crossing the Arctic Circle 3 times in this itinerary. Absolutely just a fabulous one. So this, again, for someone that's looking for something really unique, what a great option here. Now, this is part of our legendary voyages, and this, again, is something that Holland America does that's really unique. Our legendary voyages are our voyages everything longer than 25 days. And what I would encourage you to do is start thinking outside the box here. If you're only selling 7-day cruises, you're leaving money on the table. By far, North Americans book more long voyages than any other demographic out there. So again, I would encourage your guests to start thinking outside of the 7-day cruises. I'm going to show you a couple of really great itineraries here. You've got an option here, South Pacific and crossing from Seattle to Sydney. If you've got clients that maybe want to see Australia, but they're worried about the long flights, no problem. We can take care of half of that for you. Do your flight down to Sydney, spend a couple of days relaxing and enjoying Australia, and then that amazing 27-day sailing through the South Pacific, Hawaii, and back to Seattle for that relatively short flight home. What a great opportunity. You want to take Alaska to the next level? How about this? Round trip out of Seattle. Pretty much every port you're going to want to see in Alaska, including Dutch Harbor and all the way up to Nome, Alaska. Again, crossing the Arctic Circle for a solstice experience. Really just spectacular Alaska experience. Now, fire and ice here. Again, round trip out of Seattle. Let's see Alaska, get over to Dutch Harbor, head on down to Hawaii, circumnavigating Hawaii, and then back to Seattle. They call it glaciers and volcanoes. I think fire and ice is a better one, but yeah, absolutely great itinerary. By far our most popular legendary voyage, this is round trip out of Boston, 35-day voyage of the Vikings. Canada, New England, some of the best parts of Canada on the East Coast, up to Greenland, incredibly popular destination right now. Round to Australia, again, over to the UK and Rotterdam as well. This is, again, by far our most popular voyage and really just a stunning itinerary. One that's new for us and is on my list to do, a round trip from New York, 45-day Mediterranean Atlantic passage. You're hitting some of the best destinations in the Mediterranean. Gibraltar, overnight in Rome, Istanbul, and Cairo. Absolutely stunner of a destination. Now, this is where on these itineraries, you might start seeing that older demographic, because they're retired, they've got the time and money to be able to go away. However, don't discount your clients that have the ability to work remotely or work from home. Why not cruise on Holland America, have access to Starlink Wi-Fi, see the world while you're working and getting paid? I mean, absolutely dream come true. So again, start thinking outside the box a little bit. You can be approaching clients that have the ability to work remotely or work from home and then travel at the same time. Now, maybe you're saying to yourself, look, Aaron, 45 days, it's not enough. I got more time. We want to get away for longer. No problem. I got you covered. Okay. January 2026. Let's take advantage of our grand world voyage. Departing from Fort Lauderdale, January 4th, 2026, 132 days, 7 continents, 25 countries, 48 ports, 15 extended stays. Absolutely fabulous itinerary. Dream come true here. No international flights required. It's a round trip out of Fort Lauderdale. This is going to include 9 overnights in places like Bali, Singapore, Lisbon. Plus, it includes a 4-day Antarctica experience. It's going to have an optional overland tour into the Taj Mahal in India. I mean, this is the stuff that dreams are made of. So absolutely bucket list itinerary here for the right client. Something brand new for us in 2026, which is already trending extremely well. The Grand Australia New Zealand round trip from San Diego, circumnavigating the South Pacific, New Zealand and Australia. I mean, just an absolutely stunning 6 overnights throughout Australia, a 2-day Great Barrier Reef experience, 20 islands in the South Pacific. I mean, again, just a bucket list itinerary here. Round trip from San Diego. I mean, it couldn't be any better than that. We do have an EBB available for both of those grand voyages. If you're booking this before June 16th of 2025, your guest can receive up to $9,350 per person worth of amenities. Absolutely amazing opportunity here. So again, for the right client, you've got an amazing opportunity to create this lasting experience and of course, an amazing commission for yourself. Now, I've given you a lot of information about Holland America, and I'm going to pivot a little bit now and get a bit more tactical with you. And I want to talk about groups before I open it up to questions. For those on the call that are already selling groups, you know what I'm talking about, okay? For anyone on the call that's maybe new to travel, new to cruise groups, maybe haven't moved into this, I can tell you with absolute certainty the easiest way to make money in this industry is by selling river groups and ocean cruise groups. By far the best way to make the money to get that repeat business. So if you're not exploring groups, you're leaving money on the table. I'm going to give you some of my tips and tricks and inside information on how to do this for you. At the end of the call, we're also going to share with you a list of your local BDMs. I would encourage you to reach out to them, schedule a one-on-one, have a conversation with them about how to grow your group business and how they're going to be able to best support you. We've got an amazing team of people that can help you with the cruise groups, okay? A group for us really is going to start at 8 cabins. And there's no initial deposit required, so there's no expense to you. It's going to be as simple as this. You're going to pick the itinerary, you're going to pick the departure, you're going to send an email to groups, plural, at hollandamerica.com. You're going to request to hold the space. It's that simple. And then you're going to start promoting and selling it. It really couldn't be any easier. Now, when you think of groups, it really is going to fall into 2 buckets. And this, I'm going to walk you through this. Affinity group is that what everyone kind of thinks of a group. It's that common thread. So maybe a pickleball group that I talked about, food and wine, a celiac group, a knitting group, religious groups. I mean, sky's the limit, but there's often a common thread that's bringing everyone together. So I would encourage you, think about what clubs or groups are you already a part of? There's your opportunity. What clubs or groups are in the community that you're servicing? Again, there's an opportunity there. You're going to make that connection with your Pied Piper, right? The person leading that group. And you're going to say to them, hey, I love coming to your yoga classes. Have you thought about doing yoga at sea? If you help me get 23 passengers, let's say, on board, I'm going to let you cruise for free. How does that sound? then you're going to sit back and relax as that person's bringing you in that business. What an amazing opportunity. This is the kind of group that could be great for repeat business. So maybe that yoga group's now going to reach out every year and wanting to do that cruise. And I recognize you're all commission based in this industry. So imagine if you're looking at your commission calendar for the year, imagine having those two big anchors throughout the year, two or more, of course, that's going to be those large commission checks. That's going to be that amazing kind of anchor throughout your year. And all the rest of the kind of 2x2 bookings coming in are just going to be really fun filler for you because you know you've got those big anchors of commission throughout the year. So that's how I'd be thinking about it. Now, your promotional group, this is a little bit differently. What I would encourage you to do here is drop the group word altogether, okay? Maybe you're not selling groups because you're thinking what your clients are thinking. I don't want to be with a group. I don't like that many people. I don't want to travel with other people. I don't want to be stuck doing everything with them. No problem. It's not a group. It's a distinct departure. It's an exclusive voyage. It's a curated journey. You call it whatever you want. Just don't call it a group. Okay, this could be anything. So you could pick the most popular destinations that you know are going to sell. Canada, New England, Alaska, the Caribbean or Europe over March break. Those can be really great times to go. Holiday cruises, things you know are going to sell. Canada, New England, by the way, 4th of July, you're going to have an amazing voyage out of Boston. So that could be something to hold group space on. But call it something else. Call it that distinctive departure. You can also maybe pick a destination you've always wanted to go to. Maybe you've always wanted to cruise to the Med. Well, if you're excited about it, odds are someone else will be excited about it. So hold a group space, promote it. Maybe you're going to say to them, look, I'm a travel agent. I could go anywhere in the world, but I'm choosing to go to Alaska with Holland America. And that's why you should come with me. They're going to hear that. They're going to book because they want to have that experience with you. How cool would that be? You could also be a bit more strategic. So I don't know if anyone on the call has been watching the Netflix or the HBO show White Lotus. Very popular. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to check it out. If you don't know, the first 2 seasons took place in Hawaii and Sicily. The current one is in Thailand. Tourism to Hawaii and Sicily as a result of that show went up 300% as a result of the show. So I don't know, a savvy travel advisor might be holding group space for something that goes to Thailand because you know the clients are going to come asking for it. So this is how I want you to think about the group business as being your biggest opportunity to grow your book of business and, of course, grow that commission for yourself. Now, we do have a really great option available, and it's called our Connections group. This is perfect for pickleball, by the way, because it's 24 guests or less, and that's the perfect number for the pickleball court time. You're going to reach out to groups. You're going to hold 12 cabins. We're going to give you 2 additional group amenity points. These are points you're going to use to make it a unique experience. So maybe you're going to give them an onboard credit, a dining credit, chocolate covered strawberries in the cabin. I mean, you name it, there's lots on there. Maybe you're going to say to them, forget it. I've given them enough. I'm going to keep bonus commission for myself. There's no shame in that. You've got lots of options available. We're also going to give you 1 to 10 tour conductors. The tour conductors are the free spaces on board. We're going to give you 2 for that group if you sell all 24 of them. What that means is you've got 1 free cabin or 2 free spots you can give away. You can either give them away to your Pied Piper, maybe. You can use it to cruise yourself. You can use it to reduce the cost over everyone else. You could sell them and keep it for yourself. I mean, you'll have a lot of options available to, again, take that commission experience to the next level. So this would be a really great way to start off in the group game. And again, I would encourage you to reach out to your local BDM and have a conversation with them about how they can support you with the group program. So as we wrap up here, I think we're going to open it up to any questions. Hopefully I've inspired you to think about Holland America a bit differently. Hopefully I've inspired you to think about groups. It's something that I'm extremely passionate about, and I'm confident it's the best way for you to grow your book of business. So thank you so much for listening to me. And Amanda, I guess we'll open it up to questions.
Perfect. Okay, so someone wants to know specifically about the Taj Mahal India tour. How long is that for, and what itinerary was that on?
So it's on the Grand World Voyage, and it'll be a full day excursion from the ship in, I want to say it's in, I don't know what the port is. I'll have to find that out for you. But it's an optional experience to get you into the Taj Mahal.
Perfect. How does Holland America cater to solo travelers?
That's a great question. We do have, in some of our ships, our Pinnacle class ships, we have solo cabins available. Unfortunately, the rate for that is 200%. So they're paying double occupancy, even though they're traveling solo. If you have solo clients, I know we're talking about Holland America here, but Seabourn might be a great option if they're in that luxury space, because that's only at 125%.
Perfect. Next question is, does Holland America offer any specialist certification programs or training courses for travel agents?
So we do a HAL Academy on OneSource. You can head in there and complete the online training. That'll get you a $50 onboard credit for your next cruise for yourself. Seabourn also has a version of that, Seabourn Academy, same spot on OneSource.
Does Holland America offer co-op marketing opportunities?
Absolutely. Again, you would speak to your local BDM and they would workshop whatever makes sense for you, whether it's digital marketing, whether it's an in-person event, different things like that. There's lots of options available.
Where can I find promotional materials or digital assets?
Great question. On OneSource, what I will do actually, I will share my screen here. La la la. So on OneSource, you're going to log in. We have, of course, Princess, Holland, Seabourn, and Cunard, all available on there. You're going to click on the Holland tab. Under sales and marketing here, this is where you're going to find all of our current in-market offers. Everything in here. You have lots available for you. I'm going to scroll down here. This is really popular here. So, this one here, our community appreciation for any military, active or retired, first responders, educators, again, active or retired. You can get them on onboard credit here. Any content that's on here, you can pull and post it on your social media. So whether it's the art or the language or the flyers, you can take from here and share it. The other spot is that I find really helpful is destinations. When you click on destinations, it's going to give you a link to each part of the world that you're asking about. So here, let's say Canada, New England, that's what we want to talk about. You're going to have lots of flyers available, lots of information for 25 and 26 for Canada, New England. Some really unique options there. The one, I talked about this earlier. Let's just see if it comes up here. Yeah, 4th of July 2026, there is a special 250th celebration for the 4th of July. This would be a fabulous one to have a group held for. So I would encourage you to check that out. Again, a great opportunity to post that on your social media. But there's a lot of information available in here. And of course, you can take anything you like and share it out with on your social media.
Perfect. We have a travel agent asking about outlets on the ship. Will they need a European plug, or is it USB, or what type of outlets do you have?
Yeah, that's a great question. They're all North American standard outlets. The only exception in the cabins. The only exception to that would be when you're out in the kind of common areas. So if you're working out kind of in the cafe or lounge or hanging out, often there you'll need a European adapter if you can even find an outlet. I know on a lot of ships they're difficult to find.
Okay, perfect. But in the rooms, it's the normal North American outlet.
Correct.
Awesome. Next question is, let me read this for a second. Oh, okay. for onboard experiences, do you have themed Holland America journeys or like events that happen? I mean, you just mentioned the 4th of July one, which that would be themed. Do you have any other opportunities like that?
Not unless it's a charter voyage. We don't often do um yeah, unless it's a partial charter, let's say, and let's say they're doing a um I don't know, like an 80s theme or a Rolling Stones theme or something like that. But that would be called out when the clients go to book it, but we don't do anything that Holland America would take the lead on.
Perfect. Next question is, do we have to do anything to get travel agent rates?
Yeah, another great question. So on one source here, you're going to go to booking tools, and then we have two options here. So travel advisor rates or standby program. Your travel advisor rates, this is updated every Wednesday, and there are a lot of them. So I'll just show you here. There's 9 pages of voyages available, and they are some exceptional rates. These are all in US dollars. And you can, anything on here you'd be eligible to have. I just want to show you, because I love doing this. Our world voyages here as an example. If you've got the vacation approved, 86-day pole to pole, I mean, you've got some exceptional pricing there. Absolutely. Of course, get your vacation approved. Don't get me in trouble. But there's some really great options here. The only requirements are there's a form to fill out, which is right here. And you have to have 4 individual bookings within the last year. If you don't have that and you want to sail with us, again, what I'd encourage you to do is reach out to your local BDM, have that conversation, say to them, look, I haven't been on Holland America. I really want to do it because I think it's going to help me sell it. I'd be willing to hold group space on the same itinerary or the same destination that I'd be able to sell into as a result of me being on the cruise. That would be the kind of thing that would get your BDM to waive that requirement to have those 4 bookings.
Perfect. What is the ideal client for Holland America Line?
That's a very good question. So I would say the average age is like 45 to 65, 75 is that range. So it's a pretty big range. They're the cruiser that, again, wants that classic cruise experience. They don't need all the bells and whistles. They want it a bit elevated. So elevated food, elevated service without it being stuffy. We're not really a formal cruise line. We do have formal nights, of course, but not necessary. Khakis and a golf shirt are more than fine to go to main dining, so not formal or stuffy. They're also looking for a cruise line that celebrates the destination, so there's immersive experience, live music, of course, something again that we do exceptionally well. They're maybe looking for, again, just like I said, that classic cruise experience. Yeah.
Perfect. How can I best position the Have It All package or promote it to clients?
What I would say is that it's your drinks package that's going to give you the most value for your money. The Have It All package, everything that it includes, really is great value, of course. So depending on the length of the voyage is going to determine how much of the shore excursion credit, the dining credit that you would be receiving on board. What I will do is I will share out with you a breakdown showing what the Have It All costs would be, and then what it would cost to have purchased those items individually on board a regular sailing. And you'll see that it's a significant difference to do it yourself versus purchasing the Have It All.
Perfect. And then last question we have here is Holland America Line known as a premium cruise?
Yes, absolutely. So we'd be considered that premium cruise line, somewhere between kind of contemporary and luxury. Yeah.
Great, wonderful. Well, wonderful questions from the travel agents. Amazing presentation, Aaron. Thank you so much. This session was really informative. If you guys want to rewatch it, you can find it on the Travel Cafe Trainings tab, and you can check it out there. Just look under Holland America Line. Also, I just want to say, make sure you guys take these tools you've learned today and put them into effect. You got to create action, because just learning something without action, it does nothing. It's just a blank space. So make sure you create action, and that will help you gain more commissions, make some bookings and whatnot. Aaron, is there anything else that you would like to add before we close out?
Yeah, I think that was a really great point. I would encourage you to think about groups as being the way to drive this for yourself. Think about clubs and groups you're a part of in the community. That's a great way to start. We're going to share out a list of your local BDMs, so you'll be able to contact them directly and then start that conversation.
Perfect. We will post that on the Travel Cafe website for you all. And thank you so much for joining us today. Until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Aaron, thank you again. And thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.